weekend. Anyway, we're going to get into the draft. First couple of bans. No real surprises. Done.
The Enchantress ban in the first set is a little interesting. I do feel like VP is going to be able to, on average, outlane most other teams. I think EGU is extremely skilled, and they still outplayed them a few times pretty consistently, I feel. So I think Fnatic's got to be really careful about these aggro duel lanes.
Yeah, really agree with all the bans so far, especially the gyro. Again, you know, when you're Fnatic and you're watching these replays, which you've now had time to do, and you're seeing how VP, they ended up losing the game, but how well their gyrocopter was looking in the series that was off stream, as well as the Razor and the Naga. VP are pretty much, they have first pick Naga in 4 out of their 10 drafts here, and when they're a second pick, they almost always ban it.
Total bans, yep. So first pick goes Fnatic. Kind of a iffy opener. There is still TB in the pool, so.
It will open the Clock, Sand King, sometimes even the Chen.
I don't know what that Sand King was. I remember seeing, or excuse me, Clockwork. I like Beastmaster a lot more. That is a good opening for me because I feel like it can match up against the Terrorblade, which is still on the pool. I think that's problematic heroes right now.
It was their hero of the previous sets as well. Like, Universe goes off lane, he does things similar to Sumail, does a really good job, and then he gets a Shadow Blade and tries to set tempo.
So the
Sand King?
The big reason I mentioned the Chen is because Chen is likely going to be taken by VP if you leave it in the pool. Universe, there you go, nice call, Cap. Universe now has 5 of the 7 fastest times on Shadow Blade on a professional Beastmaster on record. We saw that game the other night, of course, where they ran the dual Shadow Blade, Beastmaster Venge to set up the Stun Strikes for Invoker. Not going to complain if we see that again. But again, you remember also in the VP EG series, the key to all 3 games was really which team was able to pressure the enemy safe lane. And I think that the Beastmaster, both teams really set up very well to be able to do that as the draft goes on.
Especially with a Bane pick.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not just the pressure, but which team then was able to sustain the pressure. And that was really the key for VP in game 1 against EG. They had this Bane down there. EG were unwilling to bring the Rubik from the top lane. Bane is going to crush a dual lane.
So wait, you think, in this setup here, you think the Bane's going to match, he's going to have his core in the safe lane,
yes,
and they're going to go against the Sand King Chen?
I think so. I think it leaves you open because I think what you do as the draft goes on is you say, okay, if I have an opportunity, I pick a really strong aggro dual lane partner for the Beastmaster. If I have the opportunity and I know I can bring that pressure, I can pick the Terrorblade third and pair that with the Bane in the safe lane. That combination looks so good this morning for VP, and even in the ideal case, you get to do both.
Okay. I was thinking maybe they're going to utilize this Bane. Like maybe they're just going to get a really self-sufficient hero like Lone Druid, Lifestealer, like Juggernaut or something like that to deal with that aggro, and then maybe the Bane feels a little bit more comfortable harassing mid to start off the laning phase or something. Because for me, I felt like Witch Doctor, maybe not in the laning phase sense, but even Rubik is decent matchup against these two. For me, Bane doesn't stand out specifically against Chen's aggression, besides just being a lane dominator outside of the Chen. So.
Your point is well taken. I think that Bane is not nearly as well suited to counter the Chen Sand King combination as it is X-Wisp, as we saw this morning, for example. But I still think it gives you just that stability. And I'm leaning toward now that Fnatic show the Terrorblade ban themselves fourth, I'm leaning toward this mode where we end up with Envy on a more tempo-oriented carry, and it's Abed on the farm intensive.
I found those bans from VP very interesting. Tinker and Weaver.
So that Weaver is actually, it's weird. Weaver is actually another of those heroes like the Axe that's a pick for Fnatic and basically nobody else. They run it on Envy, and what I really like about their Weaver is that it can run at very different speeds. They played it in very fast games, they played it in more farming games.
And that's a hero that when pressured by a Sand King who's shoving down your lane and goes for a tower dive and Chen's wrapping around behind, like Weaver's good.
Yeah.
It goes invis, max movement speed.
It's a really good point.
I feel like that is going to be hero that is better adept at being able to deal with that, because I still think they're going to go for a 4 position that goes with the Beastmaster, and they're going to try and match, like, hey, you're going to aggro dual lane into us, we're going to do the same.
And so I just love both of the teams covering the bases here, right? Because this now reveals that this is going to be a core Sand King, more than likely. And Witch Doctor sort of also functions as that lane stabilizer, as we were talking about with the Bane.
I wouldn't even say it's a lane stabilizer. That's a lane winner right there.
Okay.
Witch Doctor's been really effective against aggro dual lanes. Like one of the few heroes that can actually threaten Beastmaster. He's another tanky.
Yeah. Oh no, and as we've been talking about, like that's been the model of this tournament, that you pick like a DK here, and he can go mid, okay, Earthshaker's fine. That's going to be your second support in this situation. But you pick like a very tanky core for Envy, and all of a sudden he gets Maledict thrown on him, and he feels like he can actually die.
Earthshaker's kind of interesting. Kind of okay at slowing down pushes. Can definitely offset some lane pressure, interrupt some death wards, things like that. Transitions are a really good late game hero. Chain stunning, initiating team fights, making the late game easy. They'll definitely have that against a Chen. And Witch Doctor also falls off too if you don't have a nice Alchemist to get free ags.
I think the Death Prophet is pretty decent for VP here.
I was thinking about Death Prophet and Viper.
Yeah, Viper's another good one.
I'd be a little bit concerned about Death Prophet though. I feel like the burst damage is definitely there from the first 3 picks from Fnatic. Earthshaker being a threat, and then the single target focus of quite strong as well. And you'd also be dealing with split push. But that's the thing is that I really like about the Chen Sand King is that it deals with split push from Beastman really well.
They will go ahead and take the DP. Now Fnatic.
There's not too many heroes that will beat out the Beastmaster, but I believe one of them does okay. He's Lifestealer. Another one that actually beats it is Ursa.
What about just DK? Just because he's super tanky against the physical damage, he can stand an extra.
Yeah, DK just survives through it. Yeah.
He's not good against Spirit Siphon though. Like as a whole, I don't think he matches up great.
Okay. The Venge. All right, so this is their other side. This is, and again, oh god, is this a? I don't even want to say it. I don't want to jinx it. But this is the same. Basically the same set that they ran the other night.
It's a great hero against DP. I was thinking something physical damage with minus armor because of the Beastmaster thing, and Venge works perfect for that. Physical damage, she can swap DP out of position and very likely burst her down rapidly.
Please don't ban it. Please don't ban it.
And Envy can actually get stuff done in the by the time he gets a couple levels. Definitely a little bit more active, not as good late game as something like a Juggernaut. Definitely can get a lot done. What do you worry about the ban?
Oh, I just don't want them to ban us. Oh, damn it!
Yeah. I was feeling you, Paul. Hey, Paul was feeling you as well, actually.
Oh, I'm so devastated.
Shout out.
I so wanted to see that Tricore again. That was just so exciting to watch the other night.
This other one, though? This other one, Paul? Not so much that other one.
No? Okay.
He was pointing out the Broodmother, but there's an Earthshaker and a Beastmaster.
Yeah, that's super risky. Yeah. Oh, it's funny. Like Ramsey's, he's so aggressive in lane with that hero that he can get away with a lot of that stuff. But yeah, it's a really bad.
Do you know the other thing is of the 4 matches that they played against Fnatic, their last 4, 2 of them have been won using the Brood.
Yeah. Oh god.
Wouldn't
it doesn't surprise me
if they do it again here.
Oh yeah, that would. And there you go, Paul.
Yeah, just
thinking about it.
Just in case. Like, let's not do that again.
All right, so I want to see a vintage Abed hero. I'm not sure. SF's good. Physical burst is good with the TA, for example. Ember doesn't, I think, fit as well. Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
damage amplifiers.
That's another one that they've been doing as well.
Yeah.
That's my favorite kind of Medusa lineups when you have damage amplifiers. You've got both Vengeful Spirit and Beastmaster to bring your Medusa online a bit faster.
It's like way faster. Plus Wave of Terror, and VP's damage right now is mostly AoE. I feel like Medusa will be able to stay alive fairly easily. Maledict doesn't work great against her because her HP doesn't drop fast enough. Really good pick here, and allows them to basically farm for the late game if their early roam stuff doesn't work out great.
Is that's a PL ban on the side of Fnatic? Okay, so PL is out of the pool, so we have to think about it. I mean, Anti-Mage is not a hero, but
definitely not against Beastmaster.
Yeah,
it's not too fun.
All the heroes that would be able to do well against Beastmaster we were talking about earlier can't match up against the Medusa.
Exactly.
So this kills a lot.
Okay.
So they're going to do the OD instead.
Yeah, that's a no one OD.
And I think they do the safe lane Death Prophet against the Beastmaster. OD against the Medusa mid.
Boy. This is a really tough one because I like this Fnatic draft a lot, but the level of play that VP showed against EG this morning, I think, is the highest that we've seen in a tournament bar VG Gaming.
I want to see the draft again, but all I can think of right now is it's OD versus Dusa, so I know I'm just going to go for Virtus Pro here.
Okay. Kevin?
I think I'll pick Virtus Pro as well. I think they can stabilize the lanes. I'm a little worried for DP, but I think they can take the win.
OD's big time favorite in that matchup? OD's big time favorite?
I mean, it's just the fact that it's one of the better heroes at being able to bring down a Dusa. I can hear a Virtus Pro chant starting up here.
All right, you know what? I hate to make it a panel curse, but I think I agree with you guys. Let's go 3-0 VP.
All right, okay. We're going 3-0 Virtus Pro to go along with the crowd, which are already starting to chant here in the Spodek Arena. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your second semi-final, and let's find out who takes first blood between Fnatic and Virtus Pro.
It's a very good question, of course. They're no strangers to Virtus Pro playing on the main stage. Of course, this is a bit of a different one. This one's not it's not a Polish team, it's a Russian team. But still, the brand VP, nice and strong. How do you feel about their draft? Do you feel it's nice and strong as well, Blitz?
I did until they all called that it was Virtus Pro.
So you're not actually swayed by the fact, like, oh yeah, you know, it's the OD versus the Deuce, like, that looks good for Virtus Pro. It's the fact that the 3 panelists actually said that that is victory.
Yeah, plus, like, when the chips are stacked against Envy, he levels up. He takes to another form.
Yeah, but that means he has to lose game 1, right? You got to lose game 1 to then win game 2.
Even the haters, like, they'll propel him to the next level. It works on, like, multiple levels. Don't worry.
Like, it's the secret juice of Envy when he drinks at night before he goes to bed. Before he starts the game. How do you actually find the rest of the draft? So if we actually ignore the OD and the Deuce, so we just say there's gonna be a straight up matchup. Do you actually kind of like the way VP approached the draft, where we now see like this 3-position SK, the Chen, the Witch Doctor working together? Like, is this going to give a lot of strength to the rotations in the lanes from Virtus Pro?
Yeah, I mean, I think SK Chen, just to quick summarize it, that the SK will almost always shove in the wave, and it'll allow the Chen to just swarm you completely.
I love how we fake the horn at the start for VP versus Fnatic. Our full best-of-3 semi-final matchup. The winner will face up against the freshly positioned in Grand Final VG Gaming. The loser will play the third-place match tomorrow against Team Liquid. Both games should be absolutely amazing no matter which team wins or loses this series. Watch that, Dota. So laning-wise, it looks like Eternal Envy is Mr. Vengeful Spirit with the Wraith Band to begin with. He'll be going towards the offlane, working with the Bane. Probably one of the best interfering heroes, support heroes so far to enable this dual lane meta we seem to be in. They'll be going up against a Witch Doctor as well as a Death Prophet. That leaves our mid lane with No One OD versus Arbed's Dusa. And then finally up on the top, it's going to be Roger's Chen working with Pasha's SK, at least at the beginning, against Universe's Beastmaster safe lane with DJ supporting in that ES role. And they're already looking to try and contest off that first rune. DJ does have the fissure. I don't know if he really wants to burn the mana for it, but when Pasha's able to get the double Burrow Strike and take the bounty rune, he'll give it a crack and walk away with it. Unless... Fissure block, Pasha, 1 second till Burrow Strike's off cooldown. He needs some time and he's got it. Up to the cliff, starts even his TP back to the tower. The Axis will cancel the Salve. The Pasha is back to relative safety at the tier 1.
Yeah, this is not the position he wants to be in. I think he actually just goes back. And that's exactly what he's going to do. And
that can't be good though. You just burned your TP to get to the tier 1 tower.
Oh, absolutely not. That is a rough start in B.
I suppose now it's going to be, what, 3-position Chen? Milk Stream comes true.
Time being.
They move some lanes. So Ramses has come up to the top lane to work with Roger. And they're going to push SK down to the bot lane.
They realize that it's very unrealistic for this Sand King to do too much matchup. Like, he's just going to get harassed out pretty hard. Is now TJ. Chen early on. Roger already having the Blightstone. It's going to be hard for him to trade. He's looking for a creep right now. I'd really like for him to put the early pressure on this mid lane, though. I think that both superstars in their own right, and Abed is the slowed down
Yeah, if they can keep that Deuce from getting big.
Oh, I bought him.
The OD up, yeah, bottom lane, Eternal Envy being initiated on again. Burrow Strike and Maledict, that should be enough to pop him as he's low. The stick charges, it won't be enough to survive. Solo spilling the first blood.
A lot of teams banned this 5-position Witch Doctor from VP. You already start to see why. Very aggressive on this hero. At that point up in Maledict, Envy already suffering, but like we talked about, not the real carry in this game.
Yeah, you never really know. That's what the panel was talking about before the draft even began. You just don't know where Fnatic is going to put the real farm, because they can always switch it up. It's very dynamic in the lanes. To go off something else you said, the fact they banned the Witch Doctor a lot. We had the Disruptor from Solo earlier today, and this is Virtus.pro, the team that will play every single hero in the book. Such a huge depth of pool they have available.
Roger, harassing up as
Yeah, Spirit Siphon. Universe? No, can't reach him.
good amount of harass though, and in lane.
He's in trouble again on bottom. Heavy Malediction. And on Highlight, I can really help him here at all. In fact, he cannot. Enfeebled up Solar to try and remove that damage is the only ability the Pilot Die has on this Bane so far.
We start right now. As they're already off to a 1k gold lead. And at bottom lane, Solo just can throw out the early point of Maledict that he has, opting to even grab second level. He's gonna TP down here.
They found Universe up on the top lane. The fissure block from DJ. Stop the chase from going on. Roger is just all over him. Just Penitence hits him with the Hadouken Blast, and then if they can get the Spirit Siphon on, the only thing that will help him is DJ being there.
He doesn't really want to be in this position. I think in an ideal world, he's helping out Abed in this bit. He normally suffer a little bit. Abed, just fine by himself right now. No one does have a salve available, but he is completely out of mana.
He's been burning a hell of a lot, but that's why he's gone 0-2-2. Just Astral Imprisonment, secure the CS for now. DJ again. Now he's the one that's actually under attack, while Envy on the bottom lane's under attack. Multiple prong. Put our weary observer to the test.
B right now has to be careful in this. Represented time and time again that they kill him with this. Solo already up to level 4 on this 5-position Witch Doctor.
Wants to go again on Pilot Die. No point committing the Paralyzing Cask when there's nothing to really bounce it out to. And no real support around either, so Pilot Die, one more tick will hurt a little bit more, but Solo, man, they're just going at it. The gloves come off. Solo has very little damage, however. Like, he's hitting for 36 damage thanks to the Enfeeble. So he goes again for the Maledict, acquiring some space to make this work.
Drop a little bit low. Trying to save that cast, but he's going to run into a DD rune right here. And Solo, he's got to be careful about this.
Yeah, Solo won't force the issue any further than that. Still waiting to see Roger. Panel flagging him as one of the critical members, especially Cap highlighting just how fantastic he has now performed at this tournament.
This is a really good timing right now to go for the gank, but if you notice this ward that Fnatic have very smartly placed, very astute by them, is they know that the rotation isn't going to really go to this top lane, Toby. It's going to head towards mid as Solo. He's making the wraparound as well.
He's going to use the Centaur to tank up the tower as they go in after Abed. Abed not really positioning himself perfectly to escape from this. Gets clamped. Centaur Stomp will connect. DJ Fissure needs to buy space with a double stun. Solo so low. Abed needs one more attack. The smoke! He was in range, so the smoke broke instantly. Solo won't survive. Pilot Eye's looking for more, but he won't get it. And then no one does take out Abed. That high level 3 points up with the Astral Imprisonment was enough damage to pop the Medusa.
I think that was meant to be a bait. They had full vision of at least a Chen coming in, but they didn't quite expect Solo to make that rotation down as they have no ward. Fnatic, they've got to be a little bit more careful about this.
Envy's being attacked once more. Pasha, Burrow Strike down on bottom lane. Maledict and the Paralyzing Cask won't bounce anywhere, but the damage Envy has taken once more is more than enough to tick him out. He's trying to get some kind of revenge onto Pasha, but one charges keep him alive, and they just leave Envy to dot.
Solo with the execute. Turns away, doesn't even have to look at his dirty deed as DJ.
Oh, that was so close to Pasha.
But does manage to get out, and so far they have done a very good job of locking down Envy. and it's just been solo going everywhere. It felt like half a second ago he was mid, killing Abed, and then he makes the rotation down very fast as ND goes down to that. Doesn't expect the speed of that. Doesn't even have boots right now. It's 6 game. Quite the sacrificial core for his team so far, but not even like anybody's prospering on their side, as this Death Prophet is doing very well against Universe.
This is at least nice for DJ, or is it? Solar burns the shrine and forces DJ away.
At top, Exorcism was committed. Ramsey's trying to make a move onto Universe as he is being chased by the creeps.
And they need to close the distance, however. That won't really happen. But Death Prophet can at least creep skip and then hit into the tower with the end of the Exorcism. ES is just not really, like, you talk about no boots onto Eternal Envy. They might still be able to get this stun onto SK. He Burrow Striked away. Pylai Die is right behind him, but Solo starts his rotation. Maledict is up, Paralyzing Casket. Would have been a half-decent time. Would have bounced off to the range creep and back down again. But doesn't happen. Now Ramsey's, they really want to go on top. Universe roars out, going on the Death Prophet, who's already been sent back home. Roger dies quickly. They're looking for the bonus damage, but they know it won't be coming. DJ holds his fissure.
Then back as mid, Abed. Some damage, but no one is out of mana once again. Probably like to shrine in this position. Roger. He's in mid, gonna try to build up another set of creep. Bottom lane, it's very good so far for people. Now they're gonna smoke. Really like to see them make this rotation mid. They know that Envy's been slowed down enough that they don't have to worry about him too much. True core right now.
Abed's walking into him. Yeah. He's coming for the 8-minute rune.
It's gonna be top.
Yeah, it's top. He doesn't come all the way down. Beastmaster is even coming down too, so if they want to fight, I suppose there's no Raw. But there's 3 points in Maledict that Solo's just itching cast on somebody.
The luck of the draw. They want no one right now to open up with the Astral. Where's
there
the TPs right now from Fnatic?
Nothing's coming. Now VS is only just starting his TP. The shields will hold for a little bit, and Eternal Envy, level 6, just watches his teammate die. Nothing more he can do as the tower will get pressured. Don't know if that was fully part of the plan or Fnatic just not reacting in time.
Fnatic have very good vision of this game right now. You notice they've got this ward on this high ground at bottom, they've got one in mid, so they should sense these kinds of rotations coming in, because surely they're not going to go for Universe in this sort of position. They really want Abed there, and Envy should have made the call. Nobody showed at bottom for quite some time. Abed has to be careful about that. It's a very strong kill combo from Virtus Pro with the Maledict.
This feels like a very different Fnatic to the Fnatic we were watching yesterday.
Yes, they are playing a lot slower, and Envy normally was being very proactive in their games, whereas against VP it feels as though they've sort of taken the back seat.
Yeah. But where does that speed come from? Obviously you're not going to get a lot of speed out of the Medusa, but everybody else, like the VS pickup does this. Beastmaster is the highest net worth on Fnatic, and he's going to go Shadowblade, so Universe is definitely wanting to get into there and fight, but it's VB who once again are the team that are smoking. They're the team who are hunting.
Yes, and
they'll take the top tier 1 tower as well.
We haven't really felt DJ's presence, the big thing. Right now he's focused a lot more on pulling and farming, and normally we see him get a lot more active on the map, at least try to create something for his team. Thus far, we haven't seen that, and they're playing a lot slower as, once again, they want to set up for mid. No one should make this a little bit obvious. They should ping for this.
Abed reacted a lot sooner this time. Backed up towards the tower as quickly as he possibly could. But this bottom tower is still under siege. It looks like Virtus Pro have no intention to defend it. Chen's just taking over the dire jungle. Death Prophet does have Exorcism available. And the next wave coming in for them is going to be a catapult wave. So they have enough momentum to potentially, they could just keep pushing.
Right now, Fnatic, they've got to do something about this Death Prophet. The uncontested, the Beastmaster makes his rotation. Ramses feels like he has a free lane. Force Universe back up here, but Universe is the tempo creator on the side of Fnatic, because Envy's been set so that he can't really rotate like he does. The Universe shows like this, it alerts Virtus Pro to the fact that they can be very greedy.
Yep. Surprisingly enough, actually, Universe's TP in was, he tried to remain hidden, but he did it right underneath the Radiant Creep Wave. Roar up on top, Death Prophet needs some more life. 14-1 charge will buy this time for Ramses, but DJ slams it down and says, nope, thank you. This Death Prophet must die, and Fnatic finally get themselves a kill, a much-needed kill.
Slow down the tempo of Virtus Pro a little bit. big core kill that they managed to grab. They did have to commit both the Roar and the Echo Slam, but I think they needed to get something done on the map. The bottom lane, Pasha, start getting very aggressive on this tower, and Fnatic, I think this is a very good tower for them to defend.
Yep. Abed's coming in. The Mystic Snake's going to cause some problems. Taking off a lot of mana as well as life. That's enough for VP just to back off for the moment.
Highlight Eye gonna deny that mid tower. I think that all these tier 1 towers though, when you have a hero like Medusa or somebody that can just simply frontline, you need to defend them. Oftentimes you're gonna get them up. The top safe lane tower is perfectly okay to give up, but the bottom one and the mid one is gonna control so much of your map control. As at bottom, Roger.
Yeah, he's on the run. Picked up a Sada. Just to get in the back of Eternal Envy. Here's your Paralyzing Casket. Will not bounce back down again. They cannot close the distance.
You really wanted the swap, but
It was on cooldown for the moment.
Ghost wanted the stun. Roger gonna deny that bottom tower, and now Fnatic, they rotated 3 heroes down here. They're all gonna show up in mid.
They're expecting something. Okay, there's a lot of pings coming out on top of Universe. Underneath that Radiant Observe Ward, Burrow Strike, and Exorcism from Ramses. They ensure this kill with Epicenter too. Meanwhile, Solo found Pylai Die, hiding in the trees. The fissure cancels at least the Death Ward, but 2 quick kills for Virtus Pro. And on the back of the Exorcism and the Creep Wave, damage to the Tier 2 tower is incoming.
There's no way they expected that kind of rotation. With power denied, they thought that Fnatic, or that VP rotation in the bottom or the top, so they weren't ready for that connection quite yet. Because there's no objective for them to get after that. That was just purely going for kills.
A little bit of damage will help him. DJ trying to find that money. Starts his TP out. Where's the stuns? Nothing is in range. And Pasha, it's already too late. As into mid, they jump. Eternal Envy.
Another kill.
It doesn't matter what lane he goes into. It just seems to be a bad day for him. 0-4, half of the kills the VP have claimed.
0-4-0. I mean, Envy has been so pivotal for this Fnatic team in setting the pace. It feels like he rotates so early on into this game to create space for the rest of his team. But it just feels like they're a little bit out of sorts right now, Toby.
Yeah. As like normally there's a plan B. Like Abed is still the plan B, but you can't just win one of your lanes here. You're going to continue to be forced out. This is a Chen and a Death Prophet. It will keep forcing the issue, and the high ground defense won't be strong enough. Like if Blink Dagger is arrives on DJ, then I think there's a little bit more confidence in the potential of Fnatic.
I think they're still perfectly fine because of how farmed DJ is. Barely behind Envy net worth chart. Very nearly completed the Blink Dagger. Now he's fully committed to the farm, which I think is the right idea. But at the same time, this is not the pace that they set when they played against Secret. Top Solo. He's going to make the rotation again. This would be Envy's 5th death.
Oh, this is just almost cruel. TP support's coming in from the Bane. OD is also on the way in. It's almost like they're trying to they want Fnatic to chase him. Will not happen. Everyone's just back to their farm game. Pasha's already picked up his Blink Dagger. The SK range initiation is available. You can almost think about Roshan too. Medallion of Courage is on Chen. You got the army up. Don't know if you have enough damage unless you want to commit Exorcism.
Credit though to the Fnatic support. They've had very good wards the entire game. Spot most of these coming in up. I would imagine that they want to grab this tier 2 tower atop so that they can rotate straight into Roshan right after. They go for this mid one. Jay, really close to his Blink Dagger. This would be a massive pickup.
Yeah, Ramsey's going to commit. Here comes your Silence as well as Exorcism. Universe Roar to create space, but no one brings the rain of the Sanity's Eclipse. That TP extra is going to be cancelled, but here comes Pasha. Epicenter Burrow Strike, just a straggler. Universe, he just picked up the Shadow Blade. He wanted to fight, but never found the opening. Already committed the Roar beforehand with 2 heroes down without buyback.
Are they
and
really going high
Exorcism
ground?
only through 3/4 of the duration. They're going to attack in. Fortification from Fnatic has to be burned here. And Medusa with the Mystic Snake, it will give VP pause for concern and they will retreat.
15 minutes in, already pressuring that glyph. They're not going to cop too much damage. They were just trying to use out the rest of the duration. But still, a very fast pace being set right now.
This is coming again. The pace is going to increase. A Blink Dagger on the back of the Death Prophet. We already saw Ramses doing this earlier today, but you've got a Blink Dagger coming out for no one as well. Actually, he I think he bought it and then he kind of sold it. Okay, now he's actually picking it up with an extra 1,000 gold.
I think he thought briefly about going for a BKB Pike, but doesn't do so. And Envy leading his team into this Roche pit. This is so common of
Ping instantly. The second it started, they pinged out. I think the Wave of Terror gotten vision of something from the Radiant side. Either way, that ping came out from Solo. They know Sentry wards it down. Vision from DJ, keeping Solo at bay. There's the Hadouken through the pit. Roshan down to 3.2k life right now. Beastmaster having a hard time. He's underneath the Sentry ward. That's why they put it down. Partial with a follow-up Barret Strike and the Echo Slam. DJ trying to help out, but it took almost no effect at all. Eternal Envy will fall. Abed turns on the Stone Gaze and Death Prophet. Fiends crypt up. They really committed for this, but it's worth it. Abed gets a double kill, both Ramses and Solo. Huge kills for them. The follow-up, Totem stunned by DJ, means that Fnatic are getting the upper hand. Maybe Pasha looks to turn it around, buy space for no one. The Fissure stun, well, it buys a little bit of time, but it's just for Pile I Die to come out the Abyss. They switch the Nightmare off. That's no one with 28 points of stolen intelligence. Smacking Fnatic with their own smarts.
Yeah, and they needed him a little bit sooner for that, but still not the worst fight in the world for Fnatic, but they don't grab the Roshan, which was the main objective, and they have studied Fnatic. They know that when they're pressed into a corner, Fnatic, they go for those dangerous Roshans that most teams don't expect them to, but VP were so fast on the uptick.
Yeah. That's the other good thing about Fnatic, right? Like when they're backed in the corner, they don't wait to go for those desperate things. They don't think about it and then set up. Like that's just a straight smoke, run in, and we just play the card game.
Still, Abed did not die throughout that.
Yep.
Picked up heavy amount of net worth. When you are behind like that, any kill does matter, and he get a few of those.
He got Abed, he got Ramses as well as Solo, so it was worth quite a fair chunk of money.
Roche, there's no creeps on the side of VP. It is kind of low.
And here comes the Centaur. And Fnatic, well, they're smoked up, they're coming over, but with Exorcism committed and Roshan already being low, Fnatic will not get there in time. All they can do is potentially pick off someone as they retreat back out to the lane.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure about this move because Envy can't TP, and he's not making his way over, so at best they get a 4-on-5 fight.
Does feel odd. There's no doubt about that. But Envy is focusing on his next item. He's just focusing on getting that BKB up and running.
Right now, he understands that his team is in. Need to create some kind of space, but with this Aegis, it's going to dissuade them from going for the 5-man. It's going to be some time period where VP are just going to get a lot of map control.
VP are coming to establish more control. Solo and no one smoked up inside their base, a long, long way away. They look for the kill, but they're ready to showcase a new item. The Hurricane Pike is there now with a Blink Dagger on OD. Very, very difficult. Can't disjoint those attacks. At least not with what they've got.
Know that universe there, but with no dust, has that Shadow Blade that he
gone up. Solo, they found him. Blink forward. Maledict's done. Oh, okay. No waiting at all, but he lives. No, he doesn't. Maledict got him.
So much for no dust.
They really don't hold back on their Sanity's Eclipse. It's like it's 160-second cooldown, and no one's just so liberal with it.
I think getting the kill on the core, to be pretty satisfied about that. Parked up here. Doesn't want to quite go for the ward deny yet.
Yeah, they have to. Observe what's there. No one's back to the front lines. Blink and Hurricane Pike forward. Eternal Envy wants to fight him. There's the quick stun, but the orb attacks. Solo gonna be there too. Needs to hit that paralyzing cast just so no one can close the distance. He can blink in front of Eternal Envy. It's almost like watching Envy killing off everyone else back when he was playing the Clinks with the Blink Dagger. There's just nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide. And Envy's down once more. That's now his 6th death of the game. This is not a happy place for him or anyone for Fnatic. That OD is a beast.
Really have tools to deal with his Aegis right now.
702 OD. The ultimate dream game for a momentum style hero like him.
He grabs the BK field, Nion killable.
Yep. Medusa's actually looking for her own BKB. They're trying to get rid of the damage these orbs are dishing out to them.
Fort is committed. With that, he they have this Aegis for a little bit longer, they might think about going for the high ground. It is quite dangerous because of how Earthshaker plus Medusa works. They could always get caught trapped inside the base. It's not easy for them to make that rotation in.
Play it safe.
Mike, Roger here, his creeps first. They've scanned him successfully.
Yeah, Beastmaster needs the Raw. They also need a follow-up. It's difficult to bring people in range. DJ's got the Blink Dagger, but they went the wrong direction. Chen Army goes into the lane to push it out, but Chen's already leaving.
Back his creeps during the reverse. To reveal himself now.
Love the balls from no one. Just aggressively blinking forward wherever he wants to go. Didn't even have vision up that hill when he blinked. He just did it. Whatever he finds, he'll take it. The Aegis Immortal still got a little bit more time left on it.
Jay. He had something that he is there. Now he's gonna...
This will allow VP to now take the tier 1 and tier 2 tower on bottom lane. Interestingly enough, Fnatic put down both the Observer and Sentry in that area, maybe considering the defense.
My favorite part so far about this game, Toby, is that VP is being very formulaic, but super safe overall. Like, no one understands, okay, just because we have Aegis doesn't that we have to force a high ground engagement at all. Very often teams take the approach that the first Aegis will mean map control, take down all the tier 2 towers. The second Aegis is going to be the one that you generally want to try to go high ground into. Fnatic, they've got other ideas. They're smoked up. Roger's nowhere to be found. They thought that Fnatic would not take this kind of fight.
I don't know how Fnatic actually take this fight when you... Like, yeah, you just lost your Observer Ward, but how do you jump in and actually get the kill? That's a Solar Crest, Yule Scepter, and a Blink Dagger on a Death Prophet. Anyone you go on, OD can just imprison. You never know exactly where Pasha is with his stun, or Witch Doctor with the paralyzing cask. It seems to be an impossible task to get a proper initiation off without full vision of VP.
The awkward thing about that was normally you'll have the Medusa shove in that top lane. Your team's going to go for a smoke like that and not engage, but they don't really get anything out of the map off of that. And that's typically what happens when the enemy team has Roshan. You take advantage of the fact that they're going to go for 5-mans or play very safe, and as a result, no one's really going to test you on the map. But they don't opt to do that, and instead, they're just kind of huddled together even further.
They just bunker down on that bottom lane, try and protect the Trinity camps. It's not going to work well for them, especially when they're farming underneath the range of an Observer Ward. So Pasha's in the neighborhood, ensuring no attack will be successful, or any kind of attack is already been flagged out.
The good news, though, is that they still have a Medusa, and in a game like this, always be successful. So it's hard to completely count Fnatic out.
But it's going to take one heavy lifting from Abed.
They've got double BKB now, though. Envy's completed his. It is going to cost them their buyback, but it is a very necessary item in a game like this.
So much experience and money for Abed. Good top lane. Trouble for Pylai. So, no real way to survive this. Got a couple of one charges, but I think he understands he's dead and no one. Just for the easy slide in to kill secure. Now 8th kill of the game.
And look, Abed has climbed to the top of the net worth chart. It's still relatively doable for Fnatic. It's going to be tough and require VP to get a little bit too aggressive.
This looks like a better push now for Abed. I don't know if he wants to shove it in one more. Ask yourself, what would EE do? He would hide in the tree. It would seem.
Making the correct play. He doesn't see enough people on the map right now. It's really worrisome for him. And VP are just waiting for the second Roshan. They're being very patient about this time period where Fnatic get a little bit more freedom on the map.
Well, they know his Death Prophet jumped out, so Universe is coming in for a kill if possible. Underneath the Observer and Sentry Woody, will have to be careful. The Raw SK. Pylai was ready to go, but Universe needed to begin with the Raw, but Pasha too quick on the blink.
Everyone down here. They're just protecting this camp. It's the right idea. There's not anything really for them to do aside from wait for the next Roshan. Pylai gonna just blink forward.
Wow, they just go after him. They're bringing in the extra creeps, and Pasha brings in the epicenter. Oh, Pylai not where he wanted to be. Eternal Envy might be in trouble as well. He's only got a BKB. His movement speed is pretty poor. So they'll make a break for the tree line. No one finds DJ in the trees while the Biostrike controls up Eternal Envy. Medusa has joined this fight, but DJ just getting wrecked by no one. Support is there. They drop the hammer and Universe getting burnt down. 3 heroes on the sideline for Fnatic. No buybacks for any of them. And you're 26 minutes in, Roshan has respawned. But Ramses with the exorcism up, he wants to push high ground.
And that was very confusing from Fnatic. Highlight Eye just walks up very confidently, runs into a bunch of heroes, and the rest of Fnatic aren't really prepared for that die with him, thinking that maybe there's a fight to be found, but VP are so strong at this point. That's an Acceptor on your Chen, your DP is very strong, you've got a BKB on your OD. That is not a winnable fight for you.
You just picked up a fresh BKB as well on the Death Prophet.
Yeah. They didn't even have to go into Roshan or anything like that. That was just a free set of racks. It's very rare situations like this to just get that.
And now they can actually go for Roshan if they want to. If Fnatic want to try and contest it, they do have the abilities to do so. And knowing Fnatic's mindset, they will want to get down there as quick as possible.
Gold lead now, 50k at 27 minutes. The next item of choice for the Sand King. That is going to heavily counter target from Fnatic. Their main AoE, of course, being that Earthshaker Echo Slam, but hasn't really found the opportunities to use it quite yet. The multiple BKBs on the side of Virtus Pro, it's going to get even harder for him.
I love the VP scan. Like they scanned just that small little path from the dire side jungle down in towards Roshan, just to be certain. But oh, Fnatic, you thought you was safe. You just smoked underneath the Radiant Observer Ward, and VP are already mocking it in the quick chat wheel. So all they have to do is basically hold the high ground. This will be the ramp area just to the south of where VP are now, because he walks underneath the Sentry Ward. Universe is revealed. The Sentry actually working against Virtus Pro in a way.
Yeah, they wanted them to walk up that hill.
Yep. And now they won't. Fnatic try and push down the mid. Everyone here from VP has arrived. And they need their stun. The swap. Oh, no!
They need to get out full retreat mode.
Oh, run away, run away, run away. Mistakes were made. Pylai die. He's turning. He's going for the Fiend's Grip. Pasha is now freed. Albhead, I'm not quite certain if he's trying to farm Ancients or farm up heroes, but now Eternal Envy, Maledict on him once more, and you've got Ramsey just jumping in with that fresh BKB of his, going to work with the ultimate. Pylai die is being brought down by 3 other heroes at the same time. The Stone Gaze is triggered, but the Hand of God repairs almost all of the damage. The epicenter is there. Pasha can't close the distance onto Eternal Envy, and he will go down to the Exorcism eventually. Yes, he will fall. It looks like Abed will join him as well, and this has gone from bad to worse. Fnatic with 4 heroes down. If they buy back on the Deuce, you may as well say goodbye to your hard carry. They could not disengage from that debacle of an engagement.
Yeah, that was so awkward for them. As soon as they run into that illusion and roar it, they understand their mistake, but it feels too late to get out at that point. Not a whole lot that they could do in a game like this. This will be the second lane of racks, almost guaranteed.
It could be 3 as well. There's your jump in already. Blink Yule Scepter is allowing no one. He's got 60 stolen intelligence right now. They dust and kill the Beastmaster, and that is the game. Eternal Envy taps out with GG. 30 minutes is how long this game took. VP in control the entire way.
There was very little slip-up point for them. And that was not the kind of game that we expected out of Fnatic.
It really was not. Their vision game was on point, but